Howdy.
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 So I just want to welcome everybody to our April meeting. This is our first time at Whiskey Girl Saloon, so what do you guys think of the venue? Nice? Yeah, these guys have been incredibly gracious, so please do some business with them because they are very much supporters, and they're the type of supporters that we've really been hoping to draw to our group, you know, respectable businesses that are doing well, and they just want to work with us, and that is proof that we're doing our job. So guys, please give yourselves a hand because we're at the Whiskey Girl Saloon in downtown Fort Worth right now, and 2 years ago that probably wouldn't have been very possible. I always start off the meetings by recognizing volunteers because I feel like if we continue to encourage people and we reward them and, you know, basically recognize the fact that they do a good job for us, they're going to keep doing a good job for us. You know, if we just ignore them and take advantage of them or take them for granted, they're not going to stick around. And so we really try to foster and mentor and encourage activism. And there is somebody who has recently stepped up into our volunteer coordinator position. Her name is Roxy. So Roxy's going to talk about one of two people that are being not considered, they are being recognized as what we call Cannabis All-Stars. And they are people who go above and beyond, that just really dedicate themselves and do something that makes us, the people that are working on this stuff every day, look at each other and say, yes, these are the people that we've been hoping have come all along, and they're here and they kick ass. And so Roxy, would you please tell everybody about our first Cannabis All-Star?
Hey guys, I'm Roxy. I'm the volunteer coordinator. And so this first person, I met this person at Hemp Hop, and we worked at the table together. And this person was just very friendly and outgoing right off the get-go, and just, yeah, anyway. So then I kept seeing her at events over and over again, volunteering at the table, and this past event, she did outstanding. She volunteered for 2 shifts instead of just 1, and when she arrived at the event, she got asked to work the door right away because we didn't have anyone to do that, and the person that was at the door was already there for like an hour, and she did it willingly, happily. I mean, no complaints, no, can I like go inside real quick or something, like nothing like that. And so, Ashley, you are awesome, and thank you so much for everything that you do. Come up here, and please keep doing what you're doing, because as volunteers, we need more Ashleys. And if you're out there, please come talk to me, because I'd love to get you signed up. So, anyway, so we wanted to present Ashley with a hemp backpack, because I did notice that she's got a lot of the gear already. But everyone could use a backpack, so here is your backpack, Ashley. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, this was a total surprise for me, so I had nothing planned. Basically, I'm just so grateful to be part of such an awesome organization, and I've met so many people that have welcomed me into their family, and I couldn't be happier to help out in any better organization. So, thank you.
So have you guys been to Hempy's Emporium down in Arlington? Who knows about Hempy's? Yes. Well, from day one that I've known this man, Jimmy, the owner of Hempy's, he's been just completely supportive on everything that we wanted to do. I mean, he's always given his financial contributions and raffle items, and he's gone out of his way to even make a special raffle item for us. Which, I mean, these are things I didn't even ask of him, he just offered. So I want to bring up Mr. Jimmy to come on up. He's the owner of the Hempy's, and just introduce him to you guys and let him just basically say why he supports us, because we appreciate it so much. So thank you, Jimmy. So please welcome Jimmy from Hempy's Emporium.
Well, mainly I met Pete. He was pretty persuasive. You know, he says I did it, but he came up. A lot of good people. I met a lot of good people. We've done a lot of different things together, a lot of different venues that we did. I just, whatever we can do, we're glad to do. We have a really neat shop. We appreciate it if you come by. They're all normal people that have normal people. That has a normal membership. We give 15% off on anything in the shop, except tobacco products, cigarettes, all that kind of stuff. But everything else is available there. And we're just tickled to do anything we can to help promote the cause. So appreciate it, guys. Y'all are doing good work. This nice guy, we appreciate it.
So today I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about House Bill 184, which is the bill that has been in front of the Criminal Jurisprudence Committee here in Texas that relates to the penalty reduction of possession of marijuana, which as submitted would cover all citizens of Texas. It would lower penalties to where there would be a Class C misdemeanor if you have 1 ounce or less in possession, as long as it's not to distribute or trafficking in that kind of sense.
So they left the bill pending, which is what they do with most bills that they don't know what to do with. They leave it on the table and pretty much don't talk about it. Well, it got brought back up at a public hearing, and the committee itself voted 6-3 in favor of the bill, slightly amended. They call it a substitution. And what they basically did is change it from where all of these reductions of penalties for possession, instead of being attributed to all Texas citizens, they changed it to where it's only for people under the age of 21. Now, a lot of people, there's a long debate we could have for years on how that's good or bad or whatever it is. But one thing we have to keep in mind is a positive step that the legislators here in Texas that are the ones deciding on this language we put forth, by the representatives, they actually made a version that they accepted and sent it on to a calendars committee, which is a huge step. Now it's not being debated as an issue anymore, it's scheduling. And we may win or not win that fight, but that's something that we have to be very proud of for all the work we've done here in North Texas, all the other chapters, National NORML, and several other organizations that have helped us this session that really, weren't able to provide a lot of support with legislators before this new vote in. So everybody keep up to date. Texas NORML has information if you're not necessarily from the DFW area, and there's a lot of people now that are going to be talking about this. So if you live in Texas, you need to call your representative and tell them to speak to whoever they know. They talk in the hallways all the time and say, we need to help get this out of calendar committee, set it for a day, and have a public hearing on the House floor, because that's going to be the biggest thing we can accomplish right now in Texas. And all it takes is us calling and saying, I'm from your district and I want you to do whatever you can to get this out of the calendars committee.
How does it feel to be winning the drug war? Because everything that you guys are doing is pushing us closer to legalizing marijuana. If we just got a bill out of committee in Texas, that's the first time it's ever happened. And you guys should definitely be excited. You should definitely applaud yourselves. Now, what jury nullification is if you're a jury, you can say no. And basically, the case law was U.S. versus Moylan. It was established in 1969. And the actual text of the case law says that if the jury feels that the law under which the defendant is accused is unjust, or for any reason which appeals to their logic or passion, the jury has the power to acquit and the courts must abide by that decision. So what that means in a nutshell is that if your neighbor goes to court for marijuana possession and you're on that jury, you don't have to convict him just because it's against the law. You're allowed to go with your conscience. You're allowed to go with what you know is right. So by doing that, we can keep people out of prison. We can keep people out of jail. We can save more tax dollars, and we can keep marijuana a non-issue. The principle behind this is that if there's no victim, there shouldn't be a crime. And when you really get into it, if the prosecution can't produce a victim, then in good conscience, you as a juror should not convict them. So the society charging somebody is a stupid concept. If nobody was damaged, there should not be a crime. So read through this pamphlet, take notes, read through this pamphlet, memorize the stuff that's in here, and if you ever get summoned, dismiss it. I don't care what it's for. If somebody is driving drunk and they don't hurt anybody, no victim, no crime. He should not do time. Read this, pass it off, teach everybody. Jury nullification is really going to help reform our court system.
Shaun wants me to tell you all about the bus, and I will. But first, I just have to tell you guys, thank you so much. You guys will understand how important this is. You all are such a kick-ass organization. Texas rocks. Before I came to Texas, you grow up living in other states, and you always have to listen to everything's bigger in Texas and better Texas, and I'm a Denver Bronco fan, so I know better than certain areas that you're not bigger in every area. But in what matters, which is getting our plant free and getting people out of jail and educating the community and being public and having people understand that this is not scary, this is good stuff, it's beautiful magic, and people in the community are awesome, and you all, thank you. Like Shaun said, we were here in October and just by chance got to see you guys getting the bus back to Arizona, and that was a real experience. We learned so, like, look at these beautiful, they just come together and they make beautiful, they represent well, they're showing that we are not scary people, it's just good stuff. And then again, now we're back again, and even on bigger levels, and Pete and Shaun just opening their arms to us and their homes and just helping us. It's all just been beautiful. I will tell you about the cannabis, but you guys keep doing what you're doing. I know you know that what you're doing is so important because of what the truths that you have in your own experiences. But what you're doing here in Texas is for everyone on this whole planet. It's for all good stuff, and just thank you from the bottom of my heart. We want to take everything you're teaching us and our experience on the road with us, and you guys are just leading by example in Texas. I'm glad that advocacy in Texas is just so kick-ass. And thank you, thank you.
First of all, my name is Alan Patterson. I'm chair of the Tarrant County Libertarian Party. We are the third largest political party in the United States, which is somewhat like coming in third place year after year at the Super Bowl. I can wait. But anyway, we are a growing group. We're the fastest growing political party in the U.S. And in the last election, we went from 1,500 straight party ticket votes in Tarrant County to 3,000. And that is Shaun McAlister's fault, that is your fault, and that is your fault. Thank you all very, very much. We owe you a debt of gratitude that we can never repay. Next topic. We will never have reform of marijuana laws in Texas until we elect some more reformers. We can meet, we can talk, we can get together in bars, we can hug each other, we can gripe and moan and complain, but until we elect more reformers, it's not going to happen. If you or anyone you know are willing to run for Texas House, Texas State Senate, come and see us. Over here we have Mr. Ken Stanford, who is at almost every event. We ran him for Tarrant County Tax Assessor last year. Big friend of DFW NORML. Pat Dixon, the chair of the Texas Libertarian Party, is over here on the wall. Pat Dixon, Texas State Party Chair of the Libertarian Party, making that red, white, and blue tie look good over there. Come and see us sometime later on. We've got some good information for candidates, candidate recruitment. Everything you need to know about building DFW NORML politically needs to happen at that party, at that wall right over there. All right, May 12th, we have the City Council and nonpartisan race elections. A couple weekends ago, Shaun McAlister, Ken, Tristan, and I got to hear this kid named Daniel Wood, who is running for Arlington City Council. Who lives in Arlington? Anybody here in Arlington? You must get up off your butts and vote for Daniel for City Council. He is one of us, theoretically, if not socially. Let's just put it that way. He is behind everything that DFW NORML is about, and it would be a shame for this kid to lose out in an election. Next thing, next big hot topic. What do you need to grow your plant? Sunlight, seeds, some dirt, and finally, some water. Fort Worth, Texas is one of the top 10 cities in the U.S. that are most likely to run out of water. We're going to run out of water if things don't change. The water in the Trinity is not fit for use for anything. All the fish in the Trinity have been declared hazardous. If you guys are growing anything with that water, we ain't smoking it. Okay, it is some nasty, nasty stuff. The Fort Worth Water Board was sponsoring concerts for people to go tubing in the Trinity when there was massive flows of shit coming from upstream, okay? That's the Fort Worth Water Board. They are oblivious to any problems except for those that involve their own buddies and how to line their own pockets. They are going to shut down businesses via eminent domain. They're going to be taking people's land from them, giving it to private developers if we don't do something on May the 12th to elect a new Fort Worth Water Board. Did you know that you have to own land in Fort Worth to be on this water board? If you live in an apartment, sorry, you can't run. The Fort Worth Water Board controls the water in 13 counties. A small group of elected officials are just having a heyday. They have a 6-person helicopter with a leather interior for their own personal use. They have a deer lease in Jack County, a deer lease for their own personal use in Jack County for years, just because, hey, they're the Fort Worth Water Board and they wanted you to pay for it. We have 3 candidates that we've gotten behind for the Fort Worth Water Board. John Basham, Timothy Knoll, and Mary Kelleher. You're never going to remember those names, are you? John Basham, Timothy Knoll, Mary Kelleher. BNK. How are you going to remember BNK? B is for bombs. N is for normal. K, I don't know how to spell this because I'm too old, is for crump. BNK, kilograms, there you go, the metric system. BNK, you got to remember that. Somebody suggested big killer nugs. I don't even know what a nug is, I'm too old. BNK, Bassham, Timothy Knoll, Mary Kelleher. Bassham, Knoll, Kelleher. You get to vote for all 3 of them. You can vote for 3 people, you can vote for 1, you can do 2, do 3. Pat, it's approval voting for the water board. Come see us over here on this wall. If you know somebody who's wanting to run for office, if you want to run for office, and if you want more information on Bassham, Knoll, Kelleher. My name's Alan Patterson. I'm chair of the Tarrant County Libertarian Libertarian Party. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Bye.
Hello, everybody. How many here know somebody, or you yourself, use marijuana for medical purposes? No. That's what we're here for. We're going to be working to try to change the laws in Texas for the medical purposes. We need some support. We need some volunteers. We need webmasters. We got a lot of things going on right now. We're just getting fired right up and going to do this. And just like all the other states that have gone legal or changed their laws, they started off with the medical first. I think we got a great opportunity here to push it in Texas because we have a lot of support out there. Even people that wouldn't support the legalization, they will support the medical use because they've seen it or they know somebody in their family that needs it. So this is a good foothold to try to get in that we can make a difference here, make a difference in Texas. We need votes, we need people that are active, and we need more involvement with this Texas Coalition for Compassionate Care. So look us up on Facebook, we got a website, and we are getting active. We've got lots of things going on. We've got picnics, we've got auctions, we've got all kinds of things planned for the summer. So we just need some volunteers to come, and we need to grow and join with DFW NORML to change these laws in Texas. Legalize it.
Now, there's one last thing that I'd like to talk about before we close this thing off, and it looks like we're going to come in right at 6 o'clock, so we're going to be good here. Now, how many people in here are parents? All right, good amount. How many of you guys have heard of the Idaho Three? A few people. All right. The Idaho Three are 3 of the more prominent marijuana activists in Idaho. They are Lindsay Reinhardt. She's an MS patient. She's the chief petitioner for Idaho's medical marijuana initiative, and she's the executive director of Compassionate Idaho. Josh Reinhardt is her husband, and he's the director of Idaho NORML. And Sarah Caldwell, she's the executive director of finance for Moms for Marijuana International. These marijuana activists were out on a trip together, and first off, all three of these people are physically disabled. They receive no pay for the activism that they do, and they just do it because they love it. These three people just had their children stolen from them by the state of Idaho. They were on a trip, their kids were with a babysitter. Police and CPS raided their home. They intimidated the babysitter to let them in the house. They found marijuana, of course, and all 4 kids were taken. Now, CPS is supposed to save kids who are in imminent danger. When CPS takes a child away from their family, they are supposing that this is in the best interest of the child. And I would like to ask, how is it in the best interest of the child to take them away from the only people that they know, the people who are tasked to keep them safe, and put them in the care of strangers? They run the parents through the legal system and just trash their name and probably their finances. How is that keeping anybody safe? Especially when we're talking about a crime that is non-violent, that doesn't even have a victim. I would argue that these actions were politically motivated. I think that these actions were taken by people who oppose medical marijuana in Idaho. As a parent myself, I can't imagine what it must be like for those people right now without their kids. But there is something we can do. They need legal representation, obviously. And they need not just criminal, they need family law too. And they probably need a team of people. And I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you had to retain a lawyer, but it's not cheap. And there's been a lot of support from the cannabis movement already. This just happened. That's why a lot of you probably have never even heard of it yet. But I think that there's something that we can do as DFW NORML to help those people. Because we just made $5,300 on a 420 party. Why don't we just donate some of that to their legal fund?
I'll second that.
Thanks. Does anybody have a problem with that? Can I get a show of applause if we should donate $100? And also, what we would like to do is we're going to set up a section on our website where we're going to talk about it and hopefully encourage other people to. And we're probably going to get into some involvement with some sponsors. And you know, if you make a certain level donation, you're going to get whatever. We're going to work all that out. But it's important to know that these people, they're doing exactly what. Imagine me, the director of this NORML chapter, if my kids were taken from me just because of what I'm doing right here, right now. Would any of you have a problem with that?
Hell yeah!
Well, I've got a problem with somebody I've never met doing my job somewhere far away that's just as dangerous as it is here and having their kids taken away. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair. And I'm not going to stop until they stop. And so, guys, I would like to happily, on a merry note, conclude this NORML meeting by saying thank you very much for being here with us today. It was awesome, and I love the Whiskey Girl Saloon. How many people think we should come back here again soon? Yeah, I do too. I really like it. And I love Fort Worth. But on the final note I'd like to leave with you is, remember, our march is next Saturday. This is an opportunity to let the state of Texas know how strong the movement is. Because everybody knows Colorado and Washington legalized it, and a lot of people are quick to write Texas off. You know, even people here, even people that know about us, think that we don't have a chance in hell. But what we heard today about HB 184, it proves that we've got a chance. We're doing it, and we just got to keep pushing. You know, when I first got involved with this group, I met this guy named John Lowe. He's from Houston NORML. And he said a phrase to me that has stuck with me this entire time. And he said, man, we just got to reach that boiling point. That boiling point. I was like, yeah, what is it going to be that brings us to that point? And it was Colorado and Washington legalizing marijuana. And I do not want Texas to be the last state to do that, and none of you do. And so here we are. What do? You help us promote an event that's gonna let people know the movement's strong. You make a phone call to your representative, it takes 5 minutes. Probably won't even talk to your representative, you'll probably get an aide. And just leave a message. And do it again next week, and again, and again. And just keep poking them, because it takes 5 minutes. And it matters because somebody writes that down. And that goes to the representative, and they know about it. And so the more they start hearing about this, HB 184, marijuana, medical marijuana, the more they keep hearing these words, the more we keep reinforcing it here in Dallas-Fort Worth, the faster we're gonna do this. And here we are. We've grown as a group from people 10, 15 showing up to a meeting to, I don't even know how many, but we had 150 last month. That's massive. We're an awesome NORML chapter, and we need all of your help. So please help us legalize marijuana in Texas. Herbs the word.